brother! This video is going to contain spoilers for Infinity War, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jay, earlier this year, Infinity War completely rocked us with the apparent death of like half of the MCU, and I have to say, leaving the theater, I was basically speechless for like an hour. But then of course you start thinking about it, and they've already started work on Guardians 3 and Spider-Man's 2, and Black Panther was so popular they have to make another one of those. Wakanda forever! So obviously they're probably mostly just going to be temporary deaths, and everybody's going to be fine and dandy. Hooray! Except it's also kind of a bummer because it just sort of like pulls the rug out from underneath the end of this movie, which was totally epic. It's like, oh man, I wish they were all actually dead. Wait, but then of course we can also remember that not everyone who died because of the snap. Like Loki and Gamora died on their own terms, so at least they're still gone. Except the more I think about it, the more I'm pretty sure Loki isn't dead and is actually the Hulk. To start our story, we have to back up all the way to Age of Ultron, where the last we saw the Hulk, he was leaving the Battle of Sokovia in a Quinjet destined for the trash gladiator planet of Sakaar. From that moment all the way till right here,
I've been a Hulk for 2 years. I'm afraid so.
He stays in the Hulk form the whole time, and when he finally reemerges as Bruce, he doesn't have any memory about what happened while he was the Hulk.
And you and I had a fight recently.
Did I win?
No, I won, easily.
Doesn't sound right.
Well, it's true.
Does not remember, and this is important because the last we see him, he is with the Asgardians headed for Earth in Hulk form. This is a journey that you wouldn't think would take that long. But apparently in the time it takes to get there, Thanos has already attacked the Starforge, this place, which no longer has the protection of Asgard because the entire planet was destroyed by this guy. He had the gauntlet built, destroyed Xandar, and recovered the Power Stone. Very efficient guy. Also possible that he started working on some of this during the events of Thor Ragnarok while Thor's sister was running the roost. Either way, the point is they don't make it to Earth, and their journey is interrupted by Thanos and his children. Good looking bunch. They ambush the Asgardians and root and pretty much kill everyone except for Thor and the Hulk, who manages to escape via the Bifrost and lands in Sanctum Sanctorum in New York City and says, "Thanos is coming." That was one of the nerdiest sentences I've ever said. Literally ranked. If you followed that, give yourself a pat on the back. Now, the reason why this matters is because it's Bruce specifically who says these words and not the Hulk. And Bruce shouldn't have any memory of what happened from here to here. And the reason why this is significant is because it's kind of a big point in Thor Ragnarok. And now all of a sudden, just a few hours later, he can just remember what happens while he's in Hulk form. How is this the case? Because it's not Bruce. It's Loki, disguised as Bruce using his illusion magic, and remains that way for the rest of the movie. And once you start watching the movie through this lens, so many different things start to make so much more sense. For example, let's back up just a few minutes to where Thanos beats the Hulk in hand-to-hand combat. Sorry, but no, just no. Remember back in the original Avengers when he does this? And just a few hours ago, his time when he does this. Yeah, sorry, in case you didn't quite take in what was happening there. He just tackled a skyscraper-sized lava monster.
Big monster!
One, are you telling me that a gauntletless Thanos could do all that? Because no. And two, are you trying to tell me that this series of punches is enough to take down the Incredible Hulk? But Ben, he has the Power Stone. Of course he's stronger. Yes, I know he has the Power Stone, but every single time Thanos uses one of the stones throughout the entirety of the movie, it very much glows. And you don't even have to be paying careful attention here. It's definitely not glowing in this fight. And not to mention, we know from strictly a power standpoint, the Hulk is the strongest of the Avengers.
Banner.
Welcome, strongest Avenger.
What?
Compared to all of the other battles Thanos has later in this movie, he holds up the least. Yeah, no. The reason why Thanos wins this fight is because he's not really fighting the Hulk. He's fighting Loki disguised as the Hulk. He might look the part, but doesn't have the same strength. And that's not to say no strength. Loki is still a god. He has enough to get in a few punches, but not Hulk strength. The same reasoning can be applied back on Earth, where Bruce can't turn into the Hulk anymore. Because if it is in fact Loki, he knows if he transforms into the Hulk, he can't stand a chance in any battle and it will totally reveal him. And he super can't be revealed because they will not trust him because he is Loki. Not to mention the generally accepted reason for why the Hulk won't come out is because Thanos beat the Hulk and now he's too afraid to come out. Which, one, doesn't make sense. We've seen the Hulk lose before to Thor, and he was totally fine. And because the Russo brothers who directed the film said that they were surprised that people thought this was the explanation as to why he couldn't come out, because it's not the explanation as to why he couldn't come out. And let's also talk about some of the stuff that Bruce just says while he's in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
He invades planets, he takes what he wants, he wipes out half the population. The attack on New York, that's him.
I'm sorry, how does Bruce know all of this information? I don't think he does, but you know who might? Loki. Also, this really covers his own tracks. Like, no, not Loki, it wasn't him, it was Thanos. He's the real villain. But I'm sure you're wondering, what about the Loki that we did very much see die on the ship? They even go so far as to have Thanos say,
"No resurrections this time."
which is kind of like the writer saying like, yeah, no, for real this time. And like, they really want you to believe it. They even have Thor say it again later.
Well, he's been dead before. You know, this time I think it really might be true.
Doubling down on Loki being dead twice. We know what's really going on here. Nope, I'm not buying it. We know that Loki can be in 2 places at once, or even 12 if he wants to. It's like his most basic trick. And this is where there is a little bit of a problem. Typically, when it's not actually Loki, we know it's not actually Loki because he isn't tangible. Thor even tests this at the end of Ragnarok by saying,
If you're here, I might even give you a hug.
1, great hands, by the way, like that was a great catch. And 2, means he's totally there. But alas, there is a workaround. Do you remember that scene in Thor 2? Sorry, just heard that out loud. You definitely don't remember what happens here because it was Thor 2. But basically this is what happened. Loki is changing Thor's appearance as well as his. So I'm thinking Loki being choked out by Thanos is someone being choked out by Thanos, just not Loki. Who we couldn't necessarily say for sure, but this is a ship full of Asgardians, so I have a feeling there may be 1 or 2 volunteers. So if Hulk isn't on this ship at all, where is the real Bruce Banner? To which I answer with a question. Where is Valkyrie? In case you need a refresher, this is Valkyrie. She also does lots of cool stuff later. But we also know from the director of the movie that Valkyrie does survive, and Thor confirms that only half of the Asgardians were killed in this attack. So wherever she ended up, so could the Hulk, and Korg, and Meeg.
Oh, Meek, you're alive. He's alive, guys.
Yay, Meek! I was worried. And then there's a whole bunch of other just odd scenes that seem to also be explained by this. Like, why is the reuniting of Natasha and Bruce just so weird? They were like in love, right? Or at the very least getting there, and not even a hug? It's been 2 years fighting on a gladiator trash planet. So is it because it's been 2 years or because Loki doesn't know what's up with their backstory? Although I love this scene, there's also a kind of similar situation with Shuri.
Why didn't you just reprogram the synapses to work collectively?
Because we didn't think of it?
Sure, yeah, didn't think of it. Also an acceptable answer was a fight broke out and Thor busted in and lightning was going everywhere. We didn't know what to do. And moving forward, remember again when Thanos lands in Wakanda and basically just phases the Hulkbuster suit into a rock wall. Gotta say, he looks pretty stuck. Like he is a part of that rock wall from now on and forever. And yet, 2 minutes later, there he is, still in the Hulkbuster suit. Like, at the very least, I could see a situation where he could like wriggle out of a hole or something, but the whole suit? How? The suit is busted. It's missing an arm. There's no way he gets out of that rock wall unless he's Loki and can literally just phase out. Guys, I can't tell you how much I hope this theory is true. Like, even going back to our review, I think the one remark I had about the entire movie was that I thought Bruce Banner was just off the whole time. I would just say Mark Ruffalo's character, or Bruce, I was like, I was not a fan. Like, Bruce Banner is very smart, and they don't even use that characteristic of him. I think literally the only thing that he did for the story is that he was somebody that Tony Stark would take seriously. I don't know. He just seems so stressed out through the entire movie, and it seems like Bruce's like MO is basically figuring out how to constantly be calm so that the Hulk doesn't come bursting out of him accidentally. Plus, how great would it be for Loki to be posing as the Hulk when they have so much of a history together? So the biggest thing to me, and the biggest question I had attached to this theory, is that if it is true, what is the implication? Like, what does it mean if we still have Loki on our team? And the answer, I think, is Thanos' one true weakness: his daughter, who he had to kill in order to accomplish his goal. If Loki is still alive, it means they can use Gamora against Thanos. But surprise, instead it's Star-Lord who shoots him in the face. Roll credits. I love it. But Jay, my question for you and everyone else is, what do you guys think? Is it possible? Could Loki still be alive? Be sure to leave all of your thoughts in the towel section down below. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you'd like to see some more Marvel action from us, you can click right here to see me and Jay's full-length review of Infinity War, or right here to see us rank all of the Marvel movies. But Jay, that's all I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.